Hi, very good evening. Thank you for joining me for Sai Satcharita Parayana. Today we are doing chapter 8. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Saraswataya Namaha, Om Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Sai Satcharita, the life and teachings of Shirdi Sai Baba. Chapter 8. Importance of human birth, partaking food collected by alms, Bayajabai's devotion, sleeping with Tatya and Mhalsapati. My obeisance to Shri Ganesh, to Shri Saraswati and Shri Guru Maharaj Ji, to this family deity, to Shri Sita Ramachandra, my most humble obeisance, I bow in reverence to the most venerable Guru, Shri Sai Nath. In the last chapter, it has been narrated how no one could say if Sai was a Hindu or a Muslim. How great was the good fortune of Shirdi that Baba made it his own home. How initially Baba came as a young lad and had later become a mad fakir to the people. How he made a beautiful garden out of a place which was originally rough and barren. How Baba, after a time on that same spot, came up a vada. Also, how Baba excelled in the bold yogic practices of Dhoti Poti and Khanda Yoga. And protector of the devotees that he was, how Baba wore out his body, taking their suffering upon himself. How can I describe all this adequately? Now listen further to the great significance of being born a human, to the description of Baba's practice of collecting alms and of Bayajabai's selfless service to the saint, as also of Baba's astonishing way of taking meals. How the three of them, that is Tatya, Baba and Mhalsapati, used to sleep in the mosque, and how Sai Samarth used to go to the house of Kushal Chand at Rahata. The day dawns and sets in the evening. Years are devoured thus. Half the lifetime passes in slumber, and even the remaining half brings no peace and happiness. Childhood is spent absorbed in play. The youth in amorous pursuit of the youthful maiden, and old age in the weariness brought on by debility and disease, and forever plagued by maladies. To come into this world only to fatten the body, to keep on breathing and live up to a ripe old age, is this the fulfillment of the human birth? Attainment of the Supreme is really the highest achievement of human life. Or else, what is so wanting in the existence of dogs, pigs and other animals? The dogs also fill their bellies and go on procreating to their heart's content. Then what is the great significance of a human birth when both a dog and a human being are in the same position? This is a very beautiful question. What is the purpose of a human birth? Very well said here. Are we here living like a pig, a dog or any other animal, just wanting to eat and fatten our body and not doing anything, or running after the material worldly pleasures? What is the purpose? What is the real purpose of human birth? In fact, a few chapters before, I narrated the need of why the human birth is given and why is it such an important aspect. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna has said, of all his creations, the creation he loves the most is the human being. Why? Because it is only through the human birth, through this body, can we attain God. So whether it is demon or God, both have to take birth as a human being to attain the divine. And we have to go through the process of reaching the divine through the spiritual sadhana, through the spiritual path. So here, let me tell you a very interesting aspect here, right? How do you come on the path of spiritual, and what is the process required to it? Why is this human birth? First of all, why is this human body? Most important is, first is, this human birth itself is a gift, because without a human birth, you cannot attain the divine. One is, you need to have a human birth. Number two, you need to have a burning desire from your innermost being. I need to know myself. Who am I? This question should come and haunt you at some point in time in your life. The next aspect, the third, is the grace of the God has to dawn on you. When all these three things falls together, it is at that moment the Guru finds you. You do not find the Guru. All these three things should come together. It's not just the human birth. You need to have your innermost being's desire to know, who am I? Who is this self? What is my purpose in this world? Why am I a human being? These questions should come to you. And then the grace of the God. When the grace of the God and all these three things comes together is when the Guru finds you. This is the true purpose of why you are born. You are born because you need to reach the God. You need to understand the truth of God. God realization is the only purpose of this human birth. It's not to run behind our material worldly desires. It is not here so that we can get married like the pig, make babies, procreate, and live in that muck for rest of your life, enjoying all the filth. That is not why you are here. You are here for a purpose, and that purpose is extremely important. That purpose is to know the truth in this world. What is this all about? Who is God all about? Why am I here? All that is extremely important. I hope you understand, and you need to value your human birth. This God-given one life that you have, make the best use of that opportunity and reach God. Do not hanker and run behind the material worldly desires. Why do you want to keep coming again and again and again? Why do you want to be having this rebirth? Can you not end this? Put an end to this misery of this material worldly existence. Why do you want to suffer? So ask this question and awaken your spiritual awaken your spiritual thirst, and that is what will lead you to the divine. If nurture of the physical body and copulation alone are the means of fulfillment of ultimate goal of human existence, then this human birth is meaningless indeed. If the life be spent only in the fourfold activity of eating and drinking, sleep, etc., then what is the real difference between dogs and humans? So very true. Think of yourselves and judge. Think for yourselves and judge. If this alone is the fulfillment of human body, then what is the deficiency in the existence of bees and plants? The bellows too breathe in and out, and even dogs nourish and fatten their bodies. But a human being is emancipated. He is fearless and is free and is everlasting. To have this awareness itself is the fulfillment of this human birth. From where do I come? Who am I? Why have I a human birth? He who knows the principle of all this is a proficient man. Without this knowledge, everything is futile. Exactly what I said. Just as the flame of the Nandadeep appears to be the same from the beginning to the end, but undergoes change from moment to moment, so also is the state of this body. Childhood, youth and old age. These are states apparent to all people, but they come and go most naturally without anyone realizing it. The state of the flame that we see this moment ends in that same instant and appears to be the same through constantly changing. Similarly, what this body is this moment, it will not be the same the next moment. The body is the outlet for excreta, dirt, phlegm, pus, saliva. Such are the ill-boding qualities it bears. This human body is the habitation of worms and insects, is a storehouse of various diseases, is mortal and transient. It is a cart loaded with flesh, blood and muscle, a frame of skin and bone, a stinking pit of excrement and urine, an encumbering appendage of the soul indeed. This body, with its skin, flesh, blood, muscle, fat, marrow, bones, air, as one of the humors of the body, and certain loathsome parts like the genitals and the anus, is but short-lived. What it's mentioned here is, we give so much importance to this body, and we say my body, we want to dress up nicely, we want to look beautiful, but what is this body made of? Pus, blood, excreta, urine, oh my God, all that filth. And we give so much importance, genitals. Man is so much lost like a dog, for sexual pleasures. He's so hungry. I don't understand. Why are we going after things that's not going to give us anything? It's not going to emancipate you. It's not going to enlighten you. So why are you running off this? Why are you running after lust and greed? This is what it means. we give so much importance. What is this body all about? The question that needs to come is, what is the purpose of my body? Why am I born as a human? This is what you need to get answers to. Not thinking that, oh, I am here to merry-make. Oh, God has given me a good life. I will go and enjoy furthermore. Oh, you want to go in the ditch? Please be my guest. That is what we human beings do. We do not value this body. We abuse it endlessly by drinking, doing, smoking, you name every other thing, having sexual pleasures all the time. What is this? Is that what the real reason of your existence? It's sad to see how human beings have become like pigs. They've literally here, I'm not saying this, but the scripture is saying it. I only quote from the scripture. So this is what you need to understand. Baba is saying this. Please wake up. Value yourself. Don't get carried away in this, the filth of this world. Don't be lost and, constantly thinking, I am the body, I am the body. No, you're not that. That is the whole point they're teaching here as to what is the purpose of human body. You are not that one. This body is just a transient being. It comes, it goes, it's just a momentary thing. It's like a blip in the ocean. You're there now, you're dead, you're gone again. There's another body that keeps coming up. But is that you? No, that is not who you are. This is the truth you need to unravel. But unpropitious, destructible and transient as this human body is, yet it is the only instrument of attaining God, the home of all sanctity. Looks so beautiful. The only path to attain the divine is through this body. So this body is nothing but the temple. How do you take care of the temple? By indulging in all the bad things? By indulging in lust and greed? No, by purifying it, by filling with goodness, by filling it with devotion, by filling it with all the beautiful things that our scriptures are talking about. That is who you have to become. You have to evolve to become the divine being, not the crass human being. Today this is the age of Kali. We are in the Kali Yugam. So what is happening is a man is going towards inertia, lethargy, everything that is tamasic in nature. Please do not get carried away with that. Do not go there. Wake up. This is a wake up call. I hope you understand. Pursued as we are all the time by birth and death, the horror of its very idea dogs our footsteps. And yet when life departs, it leaves all of a sudden. Who keeps count of how many come and how many go, by day and by night? Some are even born with the longevity of sage Markandeya, but even they cannot escape death. While in such a transient human body, the time spent in listening to the stories of saints, by remembering whom merit is acquired, is the time well spent. The rest of time is wasted. When such awareness comes with a certainty, it is in itself the advantage of being born a human. But without personal experience, nobody is convinced of this truth. Of the truth of this. This is so true. You know what? It's so beautifully written here. While this body is being a transient, the time spent in listening to the scriptures, the time spent in listening to the glories of the divine, the time well spent, it is the time that you have well spent. It is priceless. You know what? We have time for everything in this world, but we do not dedicate that little time. We don't take out even 30 minutes of your entire 24 hours to even talk about God, think about God, or study about God. We don't give that time, but we are so busy. I want to cook. I have so many things to do. I need to take care of my children. I need to take care of my parents. Oh, I am sick today. The human being is so lost in all this. Is that the reason you're being born as a human? It's a blessing to get this human birth. And we waste it. And this is what Baba is telling here. Please do not waste this beautiful and precious life that you have to be born as a human being. Use that by listening to the glories of the divine. That is what he's saying. That time that you spend listening to the words of the divine is the time well spent. Remember this and do not forget. I'm sure the moment the satsang is over, back to your square one. No, that's not what it has to be. You have to think about it, cogitate, and constantly dwell in that. We get so carried away in our daily problems. We think satsang means it's an attendance. Oh, I have to listen, so I will listen. No, you're not doing anybody a favor. Please know that you're doing yourself a big favor. And if you think you're doing favor to Baba or anybody else by listening and being a part of this satsang, you can please go away. You're not required to be here at all. Know that it is the divine who is giving you that grace. The divine is doing a favor to you by teaching you this knowledge. Have that little bit of gratitude and be grateful to that. And yet, one has to undertake a deep study even to get this experience. Hence, he who desires lasting happiness should endeavor to attain this glory. Wife, son, prosperity, wealth, in fact, the kingdom of this boundless earth, a man may attain by God's grace, and yet his heart is insatiated. That is so true. You know, we are always craving more. God can bless you everything. You might attain the kingdom, you might attain whatever you want, but your desires are insatiable. It's like a bottomless pit. It is endless. The list goes on and on. Okay, you'll say, God, please give me this job. I need 1 lakh rupees salary. Okay, God gives you. Are you happy? No. Now I need 2 lakhs. Now I need 3 lakhs. So it goes on. Where is the stop button? There is no stop button. Can you please stop? Pause and step back. And please know that what is the purpose of your existence here. You don't need so much. You don't need to have so much greed. This is what here Baba is teaching. But with lasting happiness and peace as the objective before the mind, when God is worshipped by seeing Him in every living being, it will lead to attainment of salvation or moksha. By putting together the akin, flesh, blood and bones, this human frame is made up, which is a great obstacle in the spiritual path. Hence give up all attachment. This is so absolutely true. You have to see God in everything. You have to find happiness as, in that lasting happiness, that eternal bliss that you have to seek. It's not the petty happiness. I want to buy a dress that is going to make me happy. It's a momentary happiness. The dress and this body will anyway wear out one day. It's not permanent. You never know death when it will strike. So why are you wasting your time? You think you have all the time in the world and you're going to live for eternity? No, you're not. So don't waste that time. Time is precious. So think about God and think about that which is giving you lasting happiness. And don't go by, giving the importance for this body, which itself is an obstacle on the path of spiritual. Because to overcome the body is important. Then you have to overcome the mind. Then you have to overcome the senses and the gunas. And you have to always evolve in the sattva guna. That is what you have to attain. You think it is so easy? I think in the previous word, Baba has mentioned it very clearly. You have to undertake deep study. You have to study. You have to put in your efforts. It's not going to be given to you on a platter. First, become deserving of that knowledge also. To listen to these words also, you need to become deserving. And only when you have the divine grace, the Guru's grace, can you even get that knowledge. Treat it only as your servant. Do not exalt it unduly. Do not pamper it all the time and allow it to pave the way to hell. Give it food and clothing enough for subsistence, as also nurture for the time being, so that it may be made use of for your spiritual upliftment and the final liberation from birth and death. It's beautiful. See, we need to treat this body as a temple. So you have to keep it clean. You have to, eat good food, give the basic clothes, that which is required for its subsistence. Not indulge and not give, pamper it too much. Oh, I want to go for massage. I need to do a facial. I need to, my body is aching. I need to become thin. I'm going to do yoga. I'm going to go and do, diet. Intermittent diet. This has become a big fad. I don't want to eat food for certain hours. You want to torture? Please be ready, make your body a guest to welcome a lot of diseases. This is what is going to happen. Give it enough food, clothing and whatever that is required. Take care of it just from the purpose of its subsistence, so that it becomes a good tool so that you can go on your path of spiritual journey. Not for any other purpose. That is what is being told here. You cannot abuse your body. See, this body is a temple where you're welcoming the God. For God to come and establish within you, first this body needs to become capable. It has to become good. It has to be purified. In the temple, do you think we throw all the muck and keep? No. The temple is always clean. It's kept neat. It's clean. I know every day they put new clothes, they decorate the god. How do they welcome? They welcome with all the beautiful thing by cleaning it very, very well. Similarly, this body is also the temple. So you need to take care of it very well. Cleanliness is equal to godliness. And I'm sure a man is such a dirty pig, they don't even keep themselves clean. Horrible characters. Cleanliness, please focus on that. And today when we say, why do you think this coronavirus is all over the thing? You cannot even stay, in distance. You have to keep your environment clean. You have to keep everything clean. Please follow the basic etiquettes. Civic sense is very important. Subject to calamities of birth, death, etc., about to be destroyed any moment, such is this perpetually unhappy human existence. Of what use its momentary happiness? As the lighting which disappears in a flash, or the ripples that momentarily appear on the ocean, such are the short-lived pleasures of the body. Give some thought to this. Yes, you need to go and think about this. What is this happiness that I'm running about? Is it permanent? It's such a momentary thing. People go, they want physical pleasures, they want sensual, sexual pleasures, but it doesn't even last for more than 10 seconds. And what are you going after that? Why are you, running behind all these things? Do not. Or, you want to drink liquor, you want to get all the intoxicants. What is it going to give you? High for the short-lived, momentary, and then you have to be back. Not just that. Yes, you're welcoming your, cancer and all other diseases. But yet a human being doesn't learn. This is what the scripture in Baba is telling you. Give it a thought. Means you have to cogitate. What is that is there in that? By drinking, what am I going to get? You should ask this question yourself. I'm not saying everybody is drinking here, or I'm not saying that everybody is indulging. But this is what the human beings do. So you need to ask. Even if it means I enjoy food, I want to eat, that is also a desire. Everything is indulgent. So you need to ask yourself, why should I indulge in all of these things? What happiness is it going to give me? You need to ask, and you need to get the answer from within. When you have that answer is when you will evolve on this path. Knowing full well that the body, house, wife and children and the people around him are all destructible, and having borne the bars of the parents on his shoulder to the grave, a man yet does not awaken to the truth. So very true, we are so lost. I, me, myself, my family, my children, my father, my grandfather, my friends, my relatives, my office. Oh my God, the list is endless. But where is God in your life? Oh yeah, you'll remember God. When? Oh, I need a promotion, God. I will go ask God, Sai Baba, please. I'll go to Shirdi Sai Baba. I'll visit him. He will grant me whatever I want. That is when you'll go remember Sai Baba or anybody else. I will give him peda. Baba, please give me, I want a child. I want a promotion. I want money. Please solve my problem. This is what you go and ask God. Where have you asked? Sai Baba, can you teach me this knowledge? I want to evolve on spiritual journey. How many of you go to Shirdi to ask this? I don't think even 99.99% people go there. They all go because they want material wants fulfilled. This is exactly what Baba is telling. Even when you know this is all futile, yet you will still come and ask the same thing. And yet a man does not awaken to the truth. You still don't understand the truth. It's so sad. He still continues the same way as those who have already departed before him, thus making the rounds of birth-death cycle, but does not stop a moment to think as to the means by which these could be restrained. In attending all the time to the well-being and prosperity of family, life passes away swiftly, but time is diligent in counting the years as they pass and will never forget its duty. Exactly. And when the last moment comes, he will not pause even for a moment, but will, like a fisherman, pull the net tightly, and then in that moment of death, the human being will toss about in helpless agony, like a fish caught in the net. Exactly the point. You'll still keep suffering, yet you'll not realize this truth. You're not even going to question yourself. What you're saying here is, you have already seen your parents, your grandparents, everybody come and go and suffer and all that. Yet you still want to go in the same gutter. Why? That is what is Baba saying. Even after you seeing, you don't understand. A human being doesn't understand. How stupid is that? It is by a plenitude of great good fortune and by accumulating scores of meritorious deeds that this human birth is acquired. Hence, make the most of this opportunity you have. Yes, Baba is repeating the same thing. After many good good karma, good deeds that you have done, that you have born with this human body. Why are you wasting it? Make the most of this human birth, this one birth, this lifetime opportunity that you have to attain the divine. Don't waste it. That is what Baba is saying here. Even with the gigantic efforts of Bhagirath, this human body cannot be attained. Only by destiny it comes in our hands quite unexpectedly. Do not throw it away in the dust in vain. How powerful is this? Don't waste this human life. Today we are 7 billion population in this world, but how many even have that one iota of thought that I need to realize, I need to go behind the truth. I don't want this human material world. The only reason, why will a human being think they want to go to spiritual? Spiritual, according to them, is an escapism from the material worldly problems. They don't want to face their problems. They are afraid. So can I escape from this and go hide behind, the spirituality, and I'll go hide behind something, all the fad that goes on in this world, ashram, and there's so many interesting ashrams all around, in our country right now. So everybody wants to come and do yoga, meditation. They think by meditation they're going to attain God. How funny is that? The word spirituality means it's spirit. It's not the body. So anything that you think you're meditating, you're doing yoga, it is through the mind and the body. But spirit is beyond the all the three states, and beyond the gunas, 3 gunas. Mind, body, senses, the 3 gunas. You have to transcend all of that. And to understand that I am not this body, I am that spirit. That is the meaning of spirituality. What is that? What is the fad that you want to run behind and hide? No, sir, that doesn't work. So please come to the reality, come to the ground zero and understand this truth. Value your human birth. One who postpones anything to the next birth is a fool to believe that though in this birth, this human body slips out of his hands, he will definitely get it back in the next. Oh yeah, you keep waiting that you have a next birth also as a human being. And how funny is that? You're thinking you're going to be born next life and then I will go ahead and do something. How many karmas have you already created? And you know how much more many lives you have sanctioned for yourself? God knows what all you're going to be born as. First of all, in this life, people have lost having goodness within them, and they're being such a nasty beings. And top of it, you think you're doing any good karma? No, you're creating more bad karma. And then you're going to be born as, worm, some cockroach, God knows what. And you think you have a next life where you're going to be born as a human? Wow. That's very interesting. So many sinners mingle with the male semen and appear at the entrance to the womb to get a human body according to their karma. Many, even more vile, as a result of their karma, move from the lower order of mobile creatures to be born as immobile beings. In accordance with the knowledge attained and the karma performed, one is ordained to get a particular body. This is acknowledged by the Shrutis also. So very true. This is exactly what I said. You cannot guarantee yourself what body you will get. So why are you assuming that next birth is going to be a human birth? So don't waste this life, this one priceless and precious life that you have. Go realize the divine being. Even now it is not late. It's better late than never. Go do it now. Open up, awaken. For Shruti, the compassionate mother says, according to one's knowledge, one is born. As is the store of knowledge, so is also this birth that a being gets. Incomprehensible are the ways of God. It is impossible to understand them fully. Blessed is the human being who can attain even a fraction of knowledge about them. By greatest good fortune, one gets human birth, and by great accumulated merit is one born a Brahmin. But God's grace alone brings one to Sai's feet. Rare indeed is the perfect gain to have all 3. Exactly, I already explained on this. Varied are the species of created beings, but that of the human beings is the highest among them, for it is only possible for the humans to think, who has created us, from where do we come, and the like. Other species do not understand anything. They are born and one day they die, without any understanding of the past, present or future, or of the existence of the Supreme Being. So God was happy to create the human being, thinking that man will use his discretion and wisdom, will embrace renunciation and detachment, and will worship him. Since there is none other in this creation who is endowed with that means as that of the human body to attain salvation, he thought man will use that body for sadhana and will attain the immortality of Narayana himself. It's so amazing. There is a reason why God created human beings, and we human beings use our mind and go on the unrighteous path and use it all for all other wrong purposes, or futile purposes in this world. But we don't use for that one purpose for which God has given us this human birth. Why God created a man, that is the purpose we don't even go near to. A magician is himself very clever. He never performs his tricks before an audience that is ignorant. He anticipates an audience that will appreciate the secret of his deafness. Similarly, after having created innumerable birds, animals, trees, worms, and insects, the Lord of this creation was left with a feeling of great astonishment and regret, thinking that all his achievement was meaningless. Oh, such a boundless expanse of this universe, totality of all worlds, including all the galaxies, with the sun, the moon, the countless stars, and yet no one has the least thought or admiration for the marvelous achievement of the Creator. Not a creature knows for certain what is my purpose as the Lord of the universe in creating this sport. Until, therefore, a creature is created with so sharp an intellect as to understand and admire the incomparable glory of my work, all this achievement of mine is in vain, because the purpose of God creating a human being defeats because you are not attaining him. You're not thinking that I should attain him. You're actually getting lost into his creation, which is Maya, and getting deluded by it and thinking that that is the purpose. The enjoyment becomes your purpose. You think that is why you are born as a human. That is very sad. So God says it's all in vain, because a man goes and gets lost in instead of admiring and going ahead on his sadhana using this human body, he gets lost in that object and dwells into it. That is what is happening. So the Almighty created a being in human form. He thought, with the power of his discriminating intellect, man will know me. He will be amazed with the knowledge of my inconceivable grandeur, as also my unexcelled prowess, and will realize that the entire universe is but a sport of my Maya. Only he will be able to acquire knowledge, reflect and meditate upon me, and be filled with awe and wonder. And that will bring my sport to completion. Now, instead of being, admiring the Maya, we're actually getting lost in the Maya. That is what is happening. The happiness of the spectators is in itself the fullness of my sport. Seeing my perfect control over the world, man will feel fulfilled. To perform pleasurable karmas or to earn wealth is not the purpose of nurturing the body. The fulfillment of human life lies in acquiring the supreme knowledge till breath leaves the body. I hope you understand. This is what Baba is also rehashing constantly. This is the same thing which is mentioned in all our scriptures. Realization of non-duality between Jivatma and Paramatma is the supreme knowledge. It is that what the Upanishads call Brahmanyana, and the worship and service to the Lord is also the same. This is what is implied in saying Bhagwan of the devotees. He who has gained this knowledge of non-duality, that the Guru and the Brahman are not separable, and worships in the spirit, will find it easy to overcome Maya. Oh yes. Worshipping the Guru is the most important thing, but we human beings look at a Guru as an ordinary human being. So how will that worship happen? How will you overcome the mind? First, have humility. First, surrender. Have faith and Shraddha and Saburi unto the lotus feet of the Guru. Where is that? The moment we look at Guru and Guru says something, you want to, give him repartees, you want to answer back. You don't want to listen to one word the Guru is teaching. And like very obedient students, you want to attend his classes. But what use is it if you don't even apply even one lesson that you study from there? So where is the service you are doing? The highest service that you can do to your Guru is by applying the knowledges that he's imparted, the teachings that he has given to you, and living it. The highest Guru Dakshina that you can give your Guru is to become that which your Guru teaches you. And that is the greatest happiness that you can ever give your Guru. He is not interested in your money or anything else. He doesn't even care for what you're doing in your material world. It doesn't matter, because he knows everything is Maya. And you are getting lost in that Maya. Why are you forgetting that whether it is your job, whether it is your parents, whether it is your own children, everything is Maya. Do not get carried away in that. Know the truth. Guru is the doorway to God. Guru himself is God Almighty. Do not forget this. Those men of faith who have attained knowledge and renunciation are alone fit to enjoy self-absorption. Know that such devotees are truly fortunate. To regard oneself as fulfilled and perfect without having removed the ignorance arising out of an awareness of the true self creates a strange impediment. Knowledge and ignorance are both states of mind that give rise to illusions and errors. As one thorn is pulled out by another thorn, so remove the one with the other. Knowledge is only there to cut asunder the ignorance. Only with the sword of knowledge can you cut asunder the ignorance and evolve to understand the truth. So knowledge is important because without knowledge you cannot overcome your ignorance. Dispel ignorance by knowledge. However, the highest purpose of human existence is to go beyond knowledge and ignorance and merge in the pure self. Once your ignorance is removed, then you have to, chuck that knowledge also and transcend. The only way to attain devotion is to Lord Shri Krishna, and he himself has said this. You have to even give up that knowledge that you learned, because with knowledge you can't go and attain Shri Krishna. You have to give that up and go with him with pure devotion alone, with that humility and humbleness. You have to surrender to him, and then he'll bestow that love and devotion, and that is when you will attain that blissful state. Unless the oil of sensual attachments is burnt out completely, the darkness of ignorance is reduced to ashes, and the wick of me and mine, that is the ego, is burnt to cinders. Knowledge will not shine forth in all its radiance. Know that all actions pertaining to the human body, whether evitable or inevitable, are performed with a conscious determination or plan. If one has no other work to do, one should quietly enjoy comfort and prosperity or take Ram Nam. It will bring freedom from cares and from desires. The bodily organs, mind and intellect are all limitations to which the Atma is subject. Due to these, though himself without a beginning and a non-enjoyer, the Atma brings upon himself the suffering resulting from karma. Thus, though a non-enjoyer by nature, the suffering of the Atma is due to his limitations. And for this, Nyaya Shastra has given proof by making use of Anvaya Vyatrik. Note this is to be the one vital principle and leave the necessary karma or action, as also various processes of the mind to the intellect. As for yourself, act as a non-doer of action. So here, what Baba is telling is that we believe that this, the self, because the Atma thinks I am the body, it becomes enjoying. It's enjoying everything. So the reason is because you think I am that, I am this body, I am the mind, I am the intellect. You need to overcome this. The Atma starts associating itself with this body, and then it thinks, oh, I am suffering, I am enjoying. So whether it is enjoying or suffering, both the Atma becomes attached to that, due to which the karma is happening, due to which you're carrying the karma. So the karma is constantly created because you're getting attached to that. So even if you leave the mortal body, your mind body is carrying from one birth to the other. And there are endless karmas created from many lives. Not just that, you're also carrying so many tendencies from your previous births, many previous births of yours or past births of yours. And plus, you're adapting in this particular birth, you're also adapting many more tendencies. So know that it is not relevant. You have to overcome that, for which you need to first surrender to the Guru. And when you do that, the Guru will show his grace. He will have his grace will dawn on you. Then you will evolve on the path of spirituality. Otherwise, it is not so easy. Conduct yourself according to the dictats of your own dharma. Always contemplate on the Atman self, distinguishing him from the Atman, Anatman, non-self. This is the ultimate goal of human life, which lies in the contentment that comes from the self-absorption. There is no other means of obtaining the four objectives of human life, which is Artha, Dharma, Kama and Moksha, except the human body. And the man who devotes himself to the study of how this can be done will attain the status of Sri Narayana himself. Hence, while this body is not yet fallen, endeavor to know your true self. Do not waste even a moment of this human birth. I think Sai Baba is repeating the same thing. You know why he repeats it so many times? It's not that you don't understand. Every chapter will say the same lessons. It will keep giving the same lessons. Why? Because the human mind is a dunce. It only has selective hearing. It will only take what it wants. And we are so attuned to, listening to our mind, that no matter how many times we say the same thing, a billion times, a trillion times, even still, even 1% or 1 paisa of knowledge will not enter your brain. That is how we have become. That is how we have made ourselves. So please come out of it. Understand. Do not waste this human birth that you have. Make use of it to attain the divine. The salt water of the ocean undergoes a transformation in the clouds to become sweet water. Happiness follows similarly when one is absorbed at the Guru's feet. No one except the Guru knows how this human body can be truly liberated, and it is only when the Guru takes them in hand that the dull and ignorant beings are uplifted. Without going through the Guru, you cannot attain the divine, and you cannot even know how to overcome this human body. You can read all the scriptures, you might be a fantastic scholar, you can read, but even then you will not be able to do it on your own. It is the Guru who has to help you uplift yourself. The Guru uplifts you by putting you on that path, by understanding all your tendencies, your karmas. He absolves them, he redeems them. When you do service to him, he removes all of them, purifies you, and then puts on the path so that you could evolve on your spiritual journey. But know one thing very well, the Guru is not going to give anything to you on the platter. You have to put self-effort. The Guru is only going to guide you through that path. He is going to take the horse to the water, but the water you will have to drink. Similarly, the effort is yours. Guru is always going to be there. He is going to hold your hand and walk you through that. But you must walk. It is you who has to walk. You have to move you have to walk with your own legs. That is very important. But know that with the grace, you will be able to sail through it. That's how it works. Mantra, places of pilgrimage, God, Brahmins, practitioners, or of astrology and astronomy, Vaidyas, and lastly the 7th one, that is Guru Raj. All these are effective only according to one's faith in them. So true. As is your faith, so are your experiences. If you doubt, then only doubts. If you doubt once, 10 times more the doubt will come. So if you give faith, that is what you'll get many more times. So always show that faith. But what you evolve or what you experience is based on your faith alone. In the same proportion as the degree of faith is reposed in any of these, will the measure of success be achieved? Exactly. Saints turn a worldly man into a spiritual seeker, and such a seeker into a man emancipated. And to do this, they become manifest from their unmanifested state, all for the benefit of others. Why do the Gurus manifest? Why do they take a body? It is very simple. The answer is being given right from the day one. It is so that they can uplift the human beings. They can uplift and put this man onto the path of spiritual. That is all the only goal that they have. They come here to teach you. They come here to show you what is your real purpose, because you have got lost in the material worldly Maya. So they will remove you out of that. And this process is not so easy as it looks like, or as it been described here. It is much profound. It is much arduous. There's a lot more effort required. Effort from your end. The Guru always will put effort, and he wears himself out. You need to wear yourself out. Know that. That which cannot be accomplished by lectures or Puranas is easily accomplished by merely observing the behavior of the saints. Their movements, their conduct are wordless instruction. Rare indeed is a man who practices forgiveness, calm, detachment, compassion for all beings, benevolence, self-restraint and humility. Oh my God, that's a lot, Do you think even one word of this, the first most important word, practice forgiveness. Do we humans forgive anybody? Oh my God. Oh, she said this, my dad said this, my mother said this. How can they behave to me in office like that? We hold grudges for lifetime. We are angry. We are bitter. Where is the question of forgiveness? Forgiveness though, it's gone out of window. That is the last word. I don't know why Baba's put that as the first word here. Who is forgiving today? Everybody wants to cut another person up. We are here to get even with each other. We are here to fight. We are here to, I don't know what. Can you all be nice, humble, loving to each other? Why are you here? Is that your true purpose? No. Be nice to everybody. The whole idea is that our dharma is Sanatan Dharma. We follow brotherhood, which is goodness, friendliness, kindness, compassion. We need to be nice to each other. We need to be nice to this entire creation. Why have we become like this? Is this what we have been taught? No. Sometimes I really miss my childhood. Yeah, we all had gone through the problems, fights, we've seen all of that. But somewhere there was always that element of goodness around. Everybody would be very calm and peace. But as I have evolved, I've seen a lot of things which is not palatable, which is not conducive to being, that feeling that love within us. You always have a friction. It's constantly bitterness. There should be just love. Love everything. Love everybody. We need to stay in harmony. Harmony though is out of window. We are out to cut everybody and I don't know what we want to achieve or what we want to prove. But none of this we are living today. It's a very sad state. And that is the truth. Calm. Please be calm. Why do you have to get agitated? Even in a small thing, we just flare up. We don't need to become like that. Detachment. Oh my God. That is the next to impossible thing. There are 3 Ds in spiritual. Most important that when you go to the Guru, you need to have these 3 Ds. And this is Lord Shri Krishna himself has said. The first D is dispassion. Oh my God. Where is this? We are fully passionate about everything. Whether it's anger, happiness, we're so passionate. We want everything. We're extremely into that. The next most important thing, detachment. Oh, I am so attached to my wife, children, my property. Oh, this is mine. Even, a very funny incident. I would go to walking in the morning. And one day, the flowers, the beautiful garden, I was picking flowers, that which was fallen down, to offer it to my God. And there were 3 people at different consecutive times walked to me and said, why are you plucking the flower or why are you taking it from on the floor? You don't offer flower to God on the floor. You know what? Krishna sees the devotion. He doesn't see where that flower has come from. He sees that love, that which you bring with. You wouldn't believe the tree from where I picked these flowers up. They just, the moment I go, they know where these flowers are going. They literally shower it on me. And because they are so excited that flowers are being offered to the divine. That is nature. But human being is such a mean character. They not only possess their things, but they possess this entire universe. They think it is their father's property that they own. Be good. Don't think you own anything. You don't even own this body of yours. It is, in the scripture it is written that this body is only because of some meritorious deeds that you have done from previous lives, and that is because of the grace of the God himself that you've got this human body. So what makes you think that you own this body? Nothing is yours. You come with nothing and you go with nothing. So don't think that you are earning, this is my money. When you don't even understand what you have, you might not have the next minute. Life is not permanent. Man proposes, God disposes. Please beware of it. And don't go too much thinking with your ego and arrogance. You know not when God can destroy your ego like that. What cannot be learnt? Oh, sorry. I didn't even say about self-restraint and humility. Oh my God. Self-restraint? Oh, that's the last thing. Humility? Oh my God. Doesn't even exist in anybody. Everybody wants to show how arrogant they can be. Talking. You don't even respect an elder person today. People have lost this ability to respect someone. They think they know too much. Oh, you're all knowing. I didn't know that. People want to claim, oh, I've learned this. I'm a whatever graduate. I've done PhD. I'm a gold medalist. Please, who cares about your mundane knowledge? Nobody even values you. You can chuck it all out of the window. That is not going to give you God. That is material worldly Maya. And what makes you think you're some great scholar? You're nothing. Know that. And humility is most important. Be humble to everybody. Show humility. This is one lesson which is not lived by anybody. There is no humility at all. Everybody thinks they are the greatest thing on planet Earth. And you don't even have the attitude to learn. First learn. Then you open your mouth. Without knowledge, people want to speak too much. I'm sorry. I see such a bad example being set in today's day and age. And even, I don't know how you are going to teach your future generation. Is this how you're going to behave and show how to be mean? This is what you're going to leave a legacy for the future generation? No. Tell them how beautiful this world is, how good you are. You need to be the role model for the future generations to follow. They are going to live in this world. They are going to evolve. They are going to do a lot of things. Give them those good lessons. That is important. Don't show your arrogance. Any subject, be it, first learn. Go with humility to learn. If you don't know, say you don't know. You can always learn. There is no age to learning. You can learn at any age. Why is this arrogance? I know. Nobody knows anything. Only God is the all-knowing. Only God knows. Only Krishna knows. What cannot be learnt by reading a book is easily learnt by observing a person in action. The light that the numerous constellations of stars cannot give is given by the sun alone. So it is with these benevolent saints, all their natural actions liberate the living beings from worldly bondage, bringing them great happiness. Absolutely true. What we cannot learn by the book, what we cannot learn by reading anything, is learnt by observing others. A very beautiful thing happened last week. One of the gardeners came here, and I was very touched because this man didn't know gardening, but because that was his job. He got a job as a gardener, and he learned from his guru. He used this word, I learned from my guru. From the house, the owner from whom the house where he used to work, that owner used to teach him about different plants. That owner was knowledgeable about different plants. So he taught him how to pot different kinds of plants, how to water them, how to nurture them. And he spent 5 hours here, and he was giving me this interesting knowledge. And it was, for me, my childhood memory was rekindled. When I, as a child, didn't understand much, but I was learning. I had learned the potting, about how do you pot different plants, how do you nurture them, what kind of soil, what kind of manure, so many different things. But for me, it was a refresher. What I saw in him is like, he has knowledge, so we need to respect that knowledge, and we need to be humble to learn from anybody. Knowledge doesn't mean that we show ego, oh, I know too much, I know about gardening, who are you to teach me? That is not what it is important. It is about to learn from everybody, because the way of God's way of teaching is that every person has something unique in them. They are very good in that particular knowledge. So we need to always go with humility to get that knowledge, not with arrogance. But we have to learn by observing. My Guruji will always tell me, don't stand in the kitchen and observe. You think you know too much cooking. And yes, of course, I make that mistake many a time, thinking that, oh, that's my way is the right way. No, sometimes I've observed how he does, and then I follow that. But sometimes I do it my own way. Doesn't mean that I am right. No, my Guruji is right, because he has far greater experience of cooking for many years and in different ways. So first we need to learn by observing. And he'll always teach, his students. He'll say, stand here and watch me. So watching is very important. And that is how you learn. You learn when others are doing. You watch, how are they doing? Not use your mind. Do not use your mind. You are not going to go anywhere. You will be where you are. You will only sadava over there. You will rust over there. Learn with humility and now watch everybody. Observe. Even a blade of grass will be a teacher in life. You never know what you can learn from anybody. This entire universe is the teacher itself. The entire creation. You can learn from everybody. Everybody has something to teach. Similarly, like in Lord Dattatreya had 24 gurus. He learned from water, he learned from ocean. Everybody were a guru. And it's a profound lesson. Hopefully in the future we might do Guru Charitra. And in that you must listen to how beautifully Lord Dattatreya learned from each of his gurus, who were the nature. That is the greatness of a real master, who understands how to learn, observe and learn. Sai Maharaj was one of these great saints with boundless spiritual wealth and grandeur, always self-absorbed. His conduct was yet like a fakir. He always looked upon all equally, had no attachment to me and mine, and was compassionate towards all beings, as he saw the Supreme Being in all creatures. Yes, we must see God in everybody. Everybody has something beautiful. It's okay. Sometimes people behave in a mean way. Doesn't matter. See God in them. Have compassion. Show your goodness. That is how you will evolve being godly. Not by trying to be mean. You don't have to get even with everybody. My Guruji drills this lesson n number of times to us. Why? Because we forget that. We immediately, we flare up. He'll always say, be your good self. It's okay. Even the other person might make whatever mistake. You be your good self. Show your goodness. That is very important. To being divine means this. It is not that we have to stoop down to somebody else's level. Let them do whatever they want. They are allowed to do. They can do n number of mistakes. But we have to perfect ourselves. So we have to practice this. And this only comes with sadhana. It is not just mere words. You have to practice. You are going to fall 1,000,000 times. But every time you fall, still get up and run. That is the most important thing. Someday, finally, you will get there. You will get that understanding and you will become divine. But if you do not practice, you cannot reach anywhere. Pleasure brought him no elation, sorrow, no grief. The wealthy and the pauper were to him the same. How can this wonderful state of mind be commonplace? Yes, the divine beings do not have, they do not have pairs of opposites that they look into. They don't get swayed to that. They're always in equanimity of mind. Whether it's a pleasure or pain, nothing matters to them. They're always centered. They're in a blissful state. Neither good affects them nor bad affects them. Somebody calls them names or somebody praises them. It still doesn't matter. Somebody gives them money, somebody doesn't give. It doesn't matter to them at all. They're always in the equanimity state. They're equipoised. They are in the blissful state. Nothing affects them. We need to attain that state, and attaining that state is the most difficult thing, and for which you have to do sadhana. You need to understand so many different things to evolve there, and most importantly, it's your guru. It's only through your guru can you get there. And guru doesn't mean he's going to do magic. He's going to teach you how to get there. He's going to put you on the path. Effort is yours. Doing is you must do it. He's not going to do it for you. He who could make a wealthy man of a pauper by merely lifting an eyebrow would, however, go himself from door to door, a jholi in hand. Blessed indeed are those at whose door Baba appeared to collect alms, and spreading out his palms, called out, "Oh, my daughter, bring me a quarter from your bhakri, bread made from jowar," etc. Picking up a tumbler in one hand and in the other hand the jholi, he would himself go from door to a few fixed households every day. This is so true. He, one who has the power to make a pauper the wealthy, goes begging. Why do you think the divine beings go begging? And when he comes to your door, do not shut the door on him. He's doing you a favor by taking bhiksha from your home. When you give, when these saints or anybody accepts anything from your hand, know that you are redeemed of your karma. You are redeemed of all your, all your desires, all your bad things that you have accumulated for many years. And Baba accepts that and blesses you with all the good things. His grace is always on you. That is the most important thing. And the reason why they do this is also to, teach that when you beg, there is no ego in it. There is no arrogance. They always want to give up that. They only eat that which is, offered after your desires are fulfilled. So what you give is the desireless food. There is no desires in that. So they accept the pure one. That is why it is called madhukari. In the previous chapter it was mentioned. The madhukari means madhu, which is pure. It is sweet. Madhu is sweet. It's pure. So when your desire is not attached in that, because you're filled with it. So that is why Baba goes and takes alms. And the second thing is to always keep the ego in control. And that it shows that the greatest being has no ego in going and begging and taking alms and eating. This is what the divine beings teach, because they have nothing. They want to show, I am just a beggar. I am only a fakir. I have nothing. But yet he is the one who is the master of this universe. He has everything. You are the one who is a pauper. You are the one who is a beggar in his door. Vegetables, curried or dry, milk, buttermilk, all these foods items were poured into that one tumbler by the people. Oh, what an extraordinary way of collecting food. And to receive the cooked rice or bhakri, he would spread out the jholi, but the liquid dishes, whatever they might be, were all poured together into that one tumbler. And from where should the relish from such a separate dish arise? When the palate knew not the indulgence of enjoying the tastes and flavors, how can such a desire arise in the mind at all? This is a very beautiful thing. All the great sages do this. Why? Because they don't want to kindle their sense pleasures. They don't want to kindle the taste or whatever the palate pleasures. They mix everything and they eat. Then there's no taste. So you're destroying all the taste and all the flavors. Even my Guruji eats a similar manner. So he takes only one serving. He will never take a second serving. Whatever is offered to him in the plate once, that is it. And there's no scope for a second serving, and he has one full meal in a day. That is all he'll eat. And he'll mix everything. and he's not never going to kindle his palate pleasures at all. And there is no sense connected at all. They're just eating because they're eating. That's it. They have to keep this body going. Likewise, it said, right? You need to have subsistence for your body, the basic clothing and food. That is all they do. They are not here to enjoy a meal. They don't enjoy. They're only giving food is a fuel for the body. They're only giving that fuel so that the body can run. Whatever fell into the joli, fortuitously, he would be content to eat. Whether it was tasty or tasteless, it mattered not, as if the tongue was devoid of all taste. Every day in the morning, he would collect alms in the village, with which he would satisfy his hunger and be content. Sorry. And the alms, were they even collected regularly? No, indeed. Only when he felt so inclined would he go for them. With the result, sometimes he would go into the village for the alms as many as 12 times in one day. The food so collected would then be put into a wide-mouthed earthen jar in the mosque, from which crows and dogs freely partook of the food. The lady who swept the mosque and the courtyard also took home some 10 or 12 bhakris from it, and no one prohibited her from doing so. He would not even dream of shooing away cats and dogs. How will he ever refuse food to the poor and the weak? Blessed was his life. In the beginning, he became well known to the people as the mad fakir. What greatness could they expect in one who filled his belly by begging for morsels? But the fakir was generous, friendly, and without any expectations. Volatile outwardly, inwardly he was steadfast and tranquil. His ways are beyond all incomprehensible. But even in that mean, petty village, there were some who were very kind by nature. They considered him to be a sadhu. So he will stop here today. So what Baba is saying is that the fakirs are someone who cannot be comprehensible. You cannot even think what they are doing. Their ways are beyond anyone's understanding. They have no expectations. See, he goes and collects food when he thinks it was important. But why he does 12 times or why he does one time and why he doesn't even go, nobody knows. But whatever he has to give to those, it will be given. So you cannot even question why he's doing what he's doing. He's not a petty person like you. He's the great divine being. And whatever he does is always an act of goodness and for welfare of this entire universe, his creation and this humankind. So hope you enjoyed today's lesson and think, why do you have this body, and enjoy this privilege of evolving on the path of spirituality. It's like an awakening call to you. With this, we stop here at verse 105. We continue the same chapter tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. Have a wonderful evening. Om Shri Mahaganapate Namaha, Om Shri Gurudev Datta, Om Shri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Digambara Digambara Shripad Vallabha Digambara, Om Shri Krishna Gurunathanataya Shri Guruve Namaha, Om Devi Durgaya Namaha, Om Shri Krishna Arpanam Namastu, Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum.